This video is brought to you by Frey, premium clothing care products meticulously designed to smell better and treat your clothing better. With a scent inspired by the world's top fragrances, Frey offers a line of clothing care products unlike any on the market, tailored to men and created to help retain the natural colour and feel of your favourite garments. With an optional laundry plan subscription service that delivers straight to your door for as little as $5 a month, Frey can help you look, feel and smell great all the time.
The latest controversy from The Simpsons is actually how they addressed the Apu situation.
The Apu situation refers to some manufactured outrage that was stirred up when Indian-American, not to be confused with American Indian, comedian Hari Kondabolu, racist, released a documentary called The Problem with Apu. So what is the problem with Apu?
He's very stereotypically and overtly almost parodying an Indian character,
right.
Okay? And so a lot of people have problems with that, right?
Oh, do they?
This is a problem that a lot of people have faced and have brought up, especially about the portrayal of Indian people on TV. They're cab drivers, or they work in 7-Eleven.
Or subways.
Yeah, or subway, or have this over-exaggerated accent,
right.
And, you know, talk about curry or whatever.
Right. So how did The Simpsons address the Apu situation?
Marge actually attempts to rewrite a story from her childhood to make it less problematic so that she can read it to Lisa. She turns what's described as a racist children's book into a tale that's supposed to be more palatable for 2018, so that now it's as inoffensive as a Sunday in Cincinnati. But her once beloved book is now bland and lacking any nuance, and Lisa finds it pointless. This is supposed to be a metaphor for the long-running show. If you were to remove the offensive parts, it's no longer entertaining. So let's take a look here at the clip from the Simpsons episode.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
It's hard to say. Something that started decades ago and was applauded and inoffensive is now politically incorrect. What can you do?
Some things will be dealt with at a later date.
If at all.
Woof!
Yeah, that didn't seem unreasonable to me. Why should The Simpsons have to apologise for a character that's only now been deemed politically incorrect by some oversensitive, regressive pussy?
There are accents that, by their nature, to white Americans, sound funny, period.
It's funny because it's racist.
What?
No, it's funny because it's funny. There's nothing malicious about having a chuckle at a foreign accent. I thought you of all people would understand that, being a stand-up comedian.
Your comedy has evolved over the years. I mean, when you first started out, you were able to make fun of Indian accents that you grew up around, that you heard.
Oh, is that right?
Accents did it. Like, if I did a funny voice, I mean, we saw it with Apu on The Simpsons.
What?
Like
he was the most famous South Asian growing up for both of us.
Yes, and Gandhi. Apu and, you know,
there's a significant
Gandhi
gap.
and a cartoon were the two options that we had.
Right.
And so I knew that would work. There was precedent for it, and so I did impressions of my father.
Right, so the fact that people find Indian accents funny is a good career opportunity when you need it. But now that the old career's been established, it's racist.
It's funny because it's racist.
What a cockhead. But maybe I shouldn't be so quick to judge. After all, Hari is an oppressed person.
For comedians, it's usually good when you have some kind of outsider perspective. So I think being a person of color already gives you some of that. Being the child of immigrants gives you some of that. And also, it was that weird realization that my reality in Queens, New York, the most diverse place in the world, was not rest of the world, rest of the country, I should say. And you knew that pretty quickly by watching mass media and being like, well, all my friends and neighbors are from all over the world, and none of them exist on television. None of them exist in film. And I think that was that first realization of like being both inside and outside a group, you know. And I think that double lens is something that a lot of oppressed people have.
That's right. Hari is oppressed because he's a person of colour. Economically, Indian Americans, not to be confused with American Indians, do better than any other ethnic group in America, with a median household income of around $115,000 dues a year. The overall American median household income is around $57,000 dues a year.
Your white guilt is a part of your white privilege. Enjoy it.
Now, before you come to any rash conclusions that this guy's a pathetic smarmy cunt or something, just consider the horrible things he's got to deal with as an Indian American, not to be confused with, oh, you fucking get it. I mean, there's a stereotypical Indian character in a cartoon where every single character is a stereotypical character.
I think a lot about post 9/11, stick with me. You know, we only had 2 representations, brown people in this country, whether that's South Asian, Arab, Muslim, right? We had Apu from The Simpsons, harmless convenience store character, and we had terrorists, right? And there's a huge range of humanity between those points.
So, it's not on The Simpsons to make sure you feel adequately represented.
There are people who say, and I've seen, funny enough, on your Twitter, I've seen online, people who are South Asian saying, no, man, why are you doing this? I enjoy Apu. He's my dude. I laugh at this.
Well,
why is it such a bad thing?
I enjoy Apu. I think Apu's a really funny character, but just because something's funny doesn't make it right.
Since when has The Simpsons been about what's right, you whinging bitch? The Simpsons is about funny. It's always been about funny. If stereotypical characters are a problem all of a sudden, then The Simpsons are over. There'll be a never-ending line of punces like you looking to publicly menstruate about whatever character makes them feel bad about their thing. Stop trying to inject your PC faggotry into The Simpsons. They should be focusing on the funny. I know that's an idea you can wrap your head around when you need to.
Like, at the end of the day, if they're not laughing, I failed. I mean, these are jokes. I mean, that's the point of this.
Now, the response this watered-down queef of a man got from The Simpsons was right on point in my view, which made it all the more heartbreaking when Hank Azaria, the guy who voices Apu, appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
People in the South Asian community in this country have been fairly upset by the voice and characterization.
Did that surprise you?
Of Apu. Not over time. It did when I first heard about it, absolutely. And it's sparked a lot of conversation about what should be done with the character going forward.
Great.
The idea that it's, brought pain and suffering in any way, that it was used to marginalize people, it's upsetting.
Well, if that's the road you're going to go down, you better be prepared to have a lot more conversations with all the other people who have been marginalised and might have experienced pain and suffering as a result of stereotypical Simpsons characters. All the Scotsmen, Italians, Christians, cops, Poindexters, teachers, all the metalheads and comic enthusiasts, closeted homosexuals and ageing feminists, just to name a few.
I don't want to stand here and hold your feet to the fire. I'm another, middle-aged white guy who certainly offended a lot of people in my day.
Cuckold, cuckoldry, cucky, cucked.
As you know, in television terms, listening to voices means inclusion in the writer's room. I really want to see Indian, South Asian writers in the room, not in a token way, but genuinely informing whatever new direction this character may take, including how it is voiced or not voiced. I'm perfectly willing and happy to step aside or help transition it into something new.
I'm a cuck, fuck my lover, fuck my sister, fuck my mother, fuck my country, fuck my race, then finish on my face.
Your white guilt is a part of your white privilege. Enjoy it.
Recession!